Well, it's finally official. The ink done dried on the contract, and Microsoft, which we all knew this from day one, once this announcement was made that Microsoft bought Bethesda Games, Bethesda Studios. They own the IPs, they own the studios, and when I made my initial impression about this major deal, I gave kudos to Microsoft. I said you have to have real stones to make a deal like this. Um, and but I think people were misleading the public, and sometimes and in some cases misleading themselves by saying, well, this is only the beginning. Microsoft is going to start buying up all of these studios and all these companies and run a monopoly in the gaming industry. And I said, oh, whoa, slow down. Let's slow down for a minute, okay? This is a major deal, but I don't think that leads into other things. And then people were talking about how but all Bethesda's IPs are going to be exclusively for Xbox consoles and PC, which I have a hard time saying exclusive because I feel like exclusive means it's only made available for one device. And Game Pass is not exclusive. Microsoft as a company don't even think exclusive. You can get Xbox Live for your Xbox console as well as your tablet, your phone, your computer, whatever the case may be. And I don't know if they did an integration as far as getting it on televisions or Blu-ray players. I don't know the extent of that. They were dabbling in communicating, discussing a possibility of that. But nevertheless, I have a hard time saying exclusive to Microsoft when it's technically it's not exclusive. Okay, it's you can also get it on other devices. It's excluding from, if you want to use that terminology and say, well, you can't get it on the Switch on any Nintendo console, or you can't get it on any Sony console, or PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 4. So technically, it's still exclusive. No, it's not exclusive. Okay, so everyone was talking about that, and I made the comment in a live stream. I made a comment on social media. I even made the same exact comment on my videos, even on this particular channel, and as well as my other channels, that if you've been paying attention to what Phil Spencer and the folks over there at Microsoft has been elaborating is they're out of that old game of, well, that old system of we're going to make our own consoles and we're going to make games for our consoles. And if you've been paying attention and following Phil Spencer and everyone, Matt Booty and all of them at Microsoft, they've been talking about tapping into the billion gamers, not Xbox gamers, not just Xbox gamers, not just PC gamers, not just smartphone gamers or PlayStation or Nintendo Switch gamers, all gamers. They want to reach all gamers. If you've been really paying attention to their philosophy, their new philosophy, and the first thing they integrated and introduced to us is Xbox Game Pass. And they want Xbox Game Pass on every device. And they would love to see a day that Xbox Game Pass finally makes its way to the Nintendo Switch as well as a PlayStation console or a Nintendo console, okay? They hope heartedly that this would happen, this concept would happen, because now they're not in that game or in that ballpark no more. Now they're trying to sell a service, a streaming service. And that's pretty much where everyone is going to, okay? NBC, Paramount, CBS, Netflix, Hulu, ESPN, Fox Sports 1, everyone is coming out with these services and making original content for those services. All right. And I feel like that's the new frontier where, content makers are going to. Okay. I feel like there's going to be some people are just going to be left behind the eight ball, and it's going to refocus them into figuring out other ways to get their products other than a streaming service. I don't think all these big companies are going to survive that way. And I feel like if you're talking about music, this is the way music is going to be for the foreseeable future. It's going to be on a streaming service, okay? Because I feel like music is a smaller dose of it. If you got a favorite song, you're going to listen to your favorite song on whatever streaming service you have, Spotify, iTunes, whatever. And then you're going to graduate and move on to the next song that you like. And I feel like the ecosystem as far as music goes fits a streaming service. When you're talking about television and movies, I feel like those IPs can exist in a streaming service. Movie theaters are going to be obsolete. That's going to be the thing of the past. Nobody is not going to go to the movies anymore. They're just going to sit at their home and pay to see this movie streamed in their living room or their bedroom or whatever. I feel like that type of content will flourish in a streaming type of service. Even sports, live sports is going this way and going this route. And I see a bright future in that as well. Concerts, nobody has not even discussed or talked about concerts because we've been in a pandemic. I feel like live shows and concerts, plays and things of that nature are going to make its way utilizing a streaming service, and this is going to be their new frontier. However, when it comes to gaming, I don't think streaming services are going to be very successful in the gaming landscape. Allow our brother to explain. I feel like with gaming, gamers want availability, and they also want the ability to do other things with the game. First and foremost, I feel like gamers are still holding on to just buying a game from a retail store like GameStop or whatever and play it. And if they don't like it, they will trade it in for something else. There is value in a game versus a music CD or a Blu-ray from a television show or a movie. Even though there's value in those things, but they're not as important, or it doesn't make that game is more valuable than a movie or a television show or whatnot. Okay, so I feel like gamers like that customability and that capability of doing that. Okay, so they still want that, as well as just simply getting it from the store. Doesn't matter what store you're talking about: Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, Epic, whatever store, Steam. I feel like gamers like that. And in some of these stores, you can get a refund for that game. Okay, and then you can use that refund and get another. And I feel like AAA games are going to utilize this format. Okay, I don't see the day where a AAA game is going to make its way to a streaming service first. I feel like those AAA games are still going to flourish in this old, timeless format. All right. However, you still got smaller games. You still got independent games that will flourish in a streaming service. But I don't think streaming services, when you talk about gaming, is going to flourish. This is going to be the new landscape. This is going to be the new beginning all of a sudden. I don't see gamers relating this way. I feel like the 2Ks, the Maddens, the FIFAs, you can even throw Destiny, Call of Duty, Battlefield. I feel like those AAA giants are still going to demand a consumer base that prefers to have it on a disc or get it from the store. I also feel like there's a lot of games that only play one or two games a year. Sometimes the exact same game, but a different illustration of it or a different edition of it than the last year. Okay, and a streaming service is going to have a game that's going to either do one or two things. It's going to keep that gamer interested in the game to keep playing it, and maybe that gamer would discover another game on that streaming service, okay? Or it's a game that has an eco type of system where you want to buy DLCs and things of that nature. But a lot of those games that have that type of feature, that type of format, are AAA giant games such as Madden, FIFA, 2K, the list goes on and on, even Fortnite, okay? So that have seasons, all right? And I feel like a lot of traditional gamers play maybe one or two games a year, and then that's it. They're out, okay? Until they wait until the next illustration or the next edition of that game, okay? I don't think there's a lot of hardcore gamers out there. I do feel like there are some hardcore gamers out there, but I don't think necessarily the majority of gamers are hardcore. I think they're just modern gamers. They're not traditional gamers. That, play maybe one or two games of their, and then that's it. Okay. I don't think the days of gamers trying to beat 10 games in a year or 20 games a year, that's obsolete. Nobody's not, going through that headache no more. People perceive challenges in other ways, okay? Instead of beating a multitude of games, some people prefer getting a challenge by playing the same game for the whole year, all right? So I don't think the streaming services are going to really survive if you don't have a Call of Duty, a FIFA, a 2K, a Battlefield, a Fortnite, Destiny, whatever the game that has seasons in. Now I know a lot of people are going to say, well, EA has those games, okay? PlayStation Now and Game Pass have 2K and things of that nature, okay? Even Epic and Steam. But I feel like when you're talking about just that one game, a gamer would rather just get it from the store or buy it from a retail store and play their heart out of it until the next edition of that game comes out the next following year. And does that mean that those gamers are just going to pay a subscription service just to play that one game? No, when they can just get the $60-$70 game, buy the DLC, and just keep doing that until the next addition to that successor to that game comes out next year. And I feel like that's the mindset of modern day gamers, okay? They'll play one or two games a year, okay? The same exact game every single year. So when you factor that in, I just don't see streaming services are going to be the end all and be all of how gamers are going to get down in 2021 and 2022. So when Microsoft said, and when Phil Spencer said, when you read the article, some games will be exclusive. And he also illustrated that they're going to do it on a case-by-case basis, meaning that a lot of these games from Bethesda are not going to be exclusive games. The Elder Scrolls is not going to be an exclusive game. The Wolfensteins are not going to be exclusive games. Now you can make an argument, you can make a case where they'll probably be time exclusives, where they'll come out Game Pass first, and then it'll finally make its way to the other consoles and PCs and things of that nature. Okay, if they want to do that, but you have to also realize that Phil Spencer and the folks over there at Microsoft spent a lot of money to acquiring Bethesda's games, IPs, and studios, okay? And you want to make a quick buck, you want to make a quick profit, okay? So I just don't see a format or anything where, those bigger games that a lot of gamers are accustomed to playing on other devices, I just don't see any way, anyhow, that all of a sudden all those games are going to be exclusive. If you read the tea leaves from Phil Spencer and Xbox, they have not misled anybody when we first knew about them acquiring Bethesda Studios. They're going to do it at a case-to-case basis, and then they also said earlier in the day that some of these games will be exclusive. I feel like the smaller IPs, they can make their newer games, that really are not really known or don't really have a lot of appeal to, I could possibly see them being exclusive. I can possibly see them being time exclusive. But when you're talking about games that like Doom, Elder Scrolls, Wolfenstein, I feel like those games, and those are the games that people gravitate to. Okay, those games are not going to be exclusive. Maybe time exclusive, but I don't think they're fully going to be exclusive. And like I said earlier in this video, Microsoft is out of the exclusive format ecosystem. They're out of that stuff. They're 88 out the gate with that. I feel like Nintendo's still doing that, and I feel like Sony has changed it up where some of their games are not going to be fully exclusive. They're going to make their way to PC, but they're going to make their way first on PlayStation consoles, and then maybe 2 or 3 years down the road, they make their way to PC. Okay, so I think even Sony is moving away from being hardcore exclusive. I think that some of their IPs are going to be time exclusives, where they come out on all the PlayStation devices and consoles, and then a couple of years, maybe 3-4 years down the road, or when they wear out their welcome on the consoles, they make their way to PC. And not every exclusive PlayStation game is available for PC. All right, not all of them. All right, so I feel like they're gonna do it as a case-to-case basis, and they're gonna make hand over fist doing it that way. Okay, I feel like when you look at the gaming industry and we look at the gaming landscape, the days of we're just going to make a console, we're going to make games surrounding that console that's going to support that console and give you guys a reason to buy that console. I feel like those days are behind us with Microsoft, and it's starting to lose its focus even with Sony. Now, it's still important to get a PlayStation console. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it confused. There's a huge demand for PlayStation 5s. Okay, there's a huge demand for PlayStation 4s. And the way how they got things constructed, you're still going to have to get a PlayStation 5 or even a PlayStation 4 to get the bulk of a lot of their exclusive titles that you can't play anywhere else. So those consoles are going to go up in value, versus when you look at Microsoft, on the other hand, they totally abandoned exclusives, and look at their consoles. They're not heavily demanded. Nobody's really waiting in line for these things. Nobody's not going to pay double the price for an Xbox Series X or S, and that's perfectly fine with Microsoft. Microsoft is cool with that. I feel like the next generation of consoles, I feel like Microsoft is going to get out of that business and focus primarily on their subscription service. But in order for your subscription service like Game Pass to be successful, you have to constantly put type of content and type of product in that streaming service where people are going to willing to pay $10 or $12 a month for. Okay, and that's a predicament in the pickle that Microsoft is finding themselves as of right now. Okay, that's why the subscription numbers are not impressive to Microsoft as of right now, and that's why when we look at Microsoft business plan, if you look at their games in the store, they have a lot of their games haven't gone down in price. These same games that are on Game Pass haven't went down on price simply because it's in Game Pass. Some of them are half or full price. Okay, you would think you will get a reduction on price that way, but they want to make Game Pass more sexier and more of a reason for you to purchase it by allowing the other content in the store to remain at full or half price. And you will have to come to a decision to yourself, well, should I get the Game Pass and still play? Is this game in Game Pass? And if this game in Game Pass, I'd rather just fork out the $10, $12 a month instead of buying this game from the store. And that's what Microsoft is hoping. Their bottom dollar is, we're hoping people are going to take that approach. But a lot of people are not taking that approach. I think Game Pass is great. I think what Microsoft is doing as far as buying Bethesda, I think that's great as well. But what does it mean when you're talking about do people want, by them doing this, it also makes the console not that appealing to gamers. not that interested in gamers. Gamers are not going to wait in line or pay extra for it. They rather just buy Game Pass and just get themselves a regular PC or a tablet or smartphone. All right. So I feel like in one area, Game Pass is helping Microsoft, but in other areas, it kind of put a pause on the development and growth on their consoles. Okay, so it's a give and take type of approach. Okay, so to me, this deal is a great deal, but at the end of the day, I just don't see subscription services surviving in the gaming industry. I think they go hand in hand with how they traditionally sell games, but I don't think it's going to be the replacement. I don't think a lot of people are going to get into these subscription services because the heavy hitters, the triple A's, that come out every year, they're not in these subscription services. Okay, Call of Duty is not in this. The newest Call of Duty is not in none of these subscription services. Okay, Steam, and when you talk about Steam and Epic and all those other streaming, but that's PC. But when you're talking about console, the only way you're going to experience Call of Duty is either buying it from the Microsoft, Sony, or Nintendo store, or just simply buying it from a retail store. You just can't get this from PlayStation Now, or you can get it from Game Pass. You get older Call of Duty games, but not the newest one, not the hotness. Okay, and I feel like that's something that gamers are. Look, I just don't see gamers. I just don't see the streaming format very valuable or very important or a game changer in the gaming industry. So that's all I got to say today, guys. Tell me what you think. I'll holler at you guys next week. Deuces.